sports wrapped up their seasons. We had 3 wrestlers advancing to the state tournament. Girls basketball finished as runner-up in the sectional final game, and boys basketball finished runner-up in the regional final game. Gymnastics had several athletes make it to the sectional round. Spring sports have begun for track and field and softball. Baseball and golf begin the next couple of weeks. FFA will be having several students participate tomorrow in the career development events hosted by UW-Platteville. As a part of this day, meet evaluation will be hosted by Weber Meets and our high school. Ms. Merwin was able to take 4 aspiring students to Educators Rising Wisconsin Annual Summit and Competition at UW-Stevens Point. Our juniors took the ACT on March 7th, and we have the pre-ACT scheduled for March 22nd for our freshman and sophomore classes. Middle school forward exam will be happening later in April. If you happen to be walking around on Main Street, you will see several of our students' artwork being displayed in the front window of Hometown Pharmacy. Thank you to Mrs. Rollins, Miss Updike Ames, and Miss Burkett for getting the 8th grade students prepared and arranging an awesome National History Day competition. We had several guest judges, including current and former teachers and community members, Mr. Olson, Representative Tranel, and Representative Novak. Several students qualified to move on to the regional competition held in La Crosse on March 28th. And finally, the middle school presented their play. Finally, we got it done. Whole latte love. After several setbacks with illness and weather, I'd like to thank Ms. Williams and Ms. Update Games for their work in preparing the students to put on such a wonderful show.
Thank you, Chris. Troy?
We had 2 special weeks the past few weeks. We celebrated Read Across America. We had some guest readers, some of who are here tonight. Prizes for students, an all-school assembly that dropped everything and read. It was a great way to remind the students about the importance of reading in a fun and relaxing way. A big thank you goes out to Ms. Casper, Ms. Redfern, and Ms. Ekstrom for all their hard work. Then last week we had National School Breakfast Week. We consisted of guest servers, free breakfast, awesome prizes, and of course great food. A big thank you to our food service ladies for organizing the amazing events. Last week, one day, we had our 5th grade band concert, packed house. It was interesting because they were able to do some solos and small group events, which I thought really showed the kids confidence. And then they did a song at the end that was well done. So congratulations to Mr. Clayton and all the 5th grade students. A sign of spring, true spring anyways, is we'll begin our state forward testing on Monday, March 20th. 5th graders will start and then followed by the 3rd and 4th graders. Our testing window is March 20th, and closes April 28th. So we look forward to encouraging and supporting our students as they take their state testing. Next Thursday, the 23rd, we'll be hosting a Donuts with Dad breakfast event. We presently have over 125 families signed up to participate. And although it's titled Donuts with Dad, students are welcome to invite any special member to enjoy a breakfast that we have, which obviously is donuts, I guess. And then our spring reading challenge will begin April 1st, run for a month. Students are challenged to complete a predetermined amount of reading minutes by the end of April. Students that reach that goal will be awarded with a chance to get revenge on Mr. Kraus for the past school year. Last year, they duct taped me to the wall, and this year, we'll have to wait and see. Along with promoting reading, our challenge promotes our upcoming spring book fair, which happens, I think, the 2nd week of May. That's all I have.
Thank you, Troy. Heather, the business report?
An update on the 22-23 budget. At the end of February, we were 67% through our fiscal year. We had spent about 40% of our Fund 10 budget, which is in line with where we were at last year. An update on Fund 49. During the month of February, we had revenue totaling $112,245.02. Our expenses were $102,039, and at the end of February, we had a balance of $10,206.02. An update on the 23-24 budget. All the teachers' budgets have been turned in, and I have reviewed about 80% of the teacher budgets. Once my review's done, then it goes to Chris, Troy, and Deb for them to review. Department budgets were sent out to managers and directors and are due at the end of March. And then just a reminder, the first draft of the 23-24 budget, I will present that to the Budget and Finance Committee around the beginning of May. Last year, during one of my monthly reports, you heard me talk about the business office or the HR department, which is basically Aaron, myself, and Ashley Blahnik. We created a new hire and exit checklist. That checklist started once the candidate accepted the position within the district. Recently, our HR team decided that it would be beneficial to have that checklist start as soon as the district is aware of a vacancy. So we do have a couple open positions within the district right now. So we're kind of running those candidates through this new process, and we'll make adjustments as needed. And then finally, last week, the district was notified that we were awarded round 3 of the Emergency Connectivity Fund grant. We received $80,000. And the district will use these funds to purchase technology that was scheduled to be purchased in the 23-24 fiscal year. And we're very excited because we did not think we were going to get this money. So this is a very big win for the district because we just didn't think there was a chance that we were going to get it. So.
Our tech team is kind of on hold because if you buy any of that stuff and then you qualify, you can't use it. So we're like, okay, we have everything that we need, but we're trying to get ahead with some stuff. So we've been kind of, the last 4 months, we've just been on hold waiting for this. And other schools were hearing no. We're like, well, as long as we haven't heard no, it's not a no yet. So we were excited to get that.
Thank you, Heather. Aaron.
Yeah. Gary Helbing with the class of 1980 has reached out to his classmates and collected donations for delinquent meal accounts and to create a buffer for upcoming meal account needs. In total, the class of 1980 donated $500 to our meal account funds, which was wonderful for them. I'm also very excited to share the Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction replied to our request to have the purchase of land added to a qualified expenditure for Fund 46, which is for capital improvements. We received word just yesterday that we can use our Fund 46 funds for land acquisition that we're working on just west of our campus. So our Fund 46 account represents around 55% of the offer that we'll be making. So that means the principal and payment and interest payments on the loan for that land will go down. So instead of having a loan for $789,000 over 10 years, that will be a loan for about $359,000 over 10 years. So dropping it roughly from about 100,000 to 95,000 under 50. So we're very excited about that. And now that we're getting closer to that, we're working on the language to make the actual offer. We also found out that because it is land acquisition of less than $1 million, we do not have to have a special meeting of the electors. Southwestern had to have one of those because theirs was over $1 million. So that's just something that the board can act on. At the end of the April Board of Education meeting, we'll likely bring a timeline of kind of the projects that we're doing to find the new district mascot. So hopefully we'll say, okay, we're going to find this team and these are the things that we're going to try to do. And our architects are really kind of pushing us to get this done sooner than later. And I told them I'm not speeding it up. just say this is where this logo will go and have it as a space holder. So we want to take our time and make sure that we do that right. So we'll have that timeline to you at the next meeting. Our core planning team is moving along with plans for the referendum this summer. We'll be doing some parking lot work at the elementary school and high school and the total roof replacement at the elementary school. This will move our summer school courses primarily to the middle school and high school for safety reasons. We're also starting to finalize some of the designs. At this time, really what we're finalizing is kind of exterior walls, not the most exciting part. But we hope that by the end of August, we'll have some designs for what things might look like inside and then continue working with sending out bid packages. That's it.
Thank you, Eric. And thanks for all the work on the referendum and the land purchase especially. I don't believe we have any public recognition, so we'll go to new business. Is there any change requested for the April board meeting?
I've got none, so we can skip past that one.
And B is approved the purchase of a new school district van
Yep.
after July 1st.
We've got one van that's kind of on its last leg, limping with its last leg. And we found out that in order to get vans from other schools who purchase them, there's a long waiting list. So we're going to put out the request for proposal or the bid. But what we're hearing is that if we order it now, like within the next 2 or 3 weeks, we might be able to get it by football season, which was the first football or volleyball season, which is when we're going to start needing them. So we're actually asking for permission to purchase that once we get the bids back. You can see the budgeted amount back there, which is about what schools are purchasing. We're really nervous that we won't be able to find one. So any leg up is going to help us in the purchasing process.
Any questions, board? Hearing none, would someone move?
I'll move to approve the purchase of a new CCSD van after July 1st, 2023.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Collins.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Hinterman, yes. Bowden.
Yes.
Andrews.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item C is approve the settlement amount in the class action lawsuit against LUUL from the France Law Group.
Sorry, that's supposed to be Jewel. I had L instead of J. So about a little over a year ago, we joined this class action lawsuit. We had some direct costs with this, where we purchased about $20,000 worth of vape detectors. And this group said, hey, we're doing this for schools like you who have expended money and dollars for these things. We got our settlement came in just under $16,000. By the time court fees and lawyer fees came out of that, we'll receive around half of that. So we'll get that probably next to school year. That won't be anytime soon. So we just have to, the last step of this is to have, I have to send them the minutes that we approved this settlement account.
Would someone move?
I'll move to approve the settlement in the class action lawsuit against Jewel from France Law Group as presented.
I'll second it.
Collins.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Hinterman, yes. Bowden.
Yes.
Andrews.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item D is approve the district to join the social media class action lawsuit with the France Law Group.
Same group. What they're saying now is the more they got into investigating Jewel, they saw that there was another category that of people that were targeting kids under the adult legal age that was forming some addiction, and that was the social media. We do not have any direct costs with this, but there's been a lot of studies, one by the CDC, that says, there's 60% more kids suffering from depression and anxiety than there were 4 or 5 years ago. So this is targeting groups such as Meta, TikTok, YouTube, and Snap, and saying they've negatively impacted our students in the past. Although we don't have any direct costs, I feel if you were to talk to our counselors and some of our teachers, they would agree with that statement. The only difference is with Jewel, we were able to say, yep, we had this cost. They won't ask too much information from us. I think I had to fill out a 3-page survey. That was about it. And they did say we may not have costs, but costs may come up, and that's why they're doing this. So my recommendation would be to join this. I'm not expecting too much out of that, but if that leads to better regulations in some of the social media through this class action lawsuit, I think that's a good thing.
What's the downside to this?
I've got to fill out a 3-page summary probably. I'm not sure why more schools didn't join the Jewel lawsuit either. It was very easy for us, but maybe some other people hadn't purchased those, and they thought, well, there's not a direct cost. In this literature, they basically said there doesn't have to be direct costs. It could be things coming up. Anything dealing with mental health, would be useful. We could spend that on.
I think there's a group of people that just don't like class action lawsuits. I mean, they think it's a money grab by these legal groups. I mean, as you can see, we're only getting half of the money.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really, they present it like it's for the schools or for whoever, but it's really to line their pockets as far as I'm concerned.
A lot of things like that. Or if there's no other questions, will somebody make the motion?
I'll move to approve participation in the social media class action lawsuit with France Law Group as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
Collins.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Hinterman, yes. Bowden.
Yes.
Andrews.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item E is approve the increase for certified substitute teachers to a 140 a day.
About 2 years ago, we raised this from 100 to 120, and at that time, that put us second in our region. And we're lucky to have some substitute teachers kind of share with us what some other schools are paying. So when we looked around and talked to other schools, we went from second to last in our area with 120. We're entering April and May, and administrative assistants know that this is kind of the really hardest time to try to find substitute teachers. We're hoping that this makes it easier for us to secure classroom teachers for our kids and make us more competitive within the region.
If there's no questions, would somebody care to move?
I'll move to approve the increase for certified staff substitute teachers to $140 as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
Collins.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Hinterman, yes. Bowden.
Yes.
Andrews.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Approve the middle school coaches handbook.
Yeah, Chris, you want to talk a little bit about how this got started?
So we got looking when I met with Jacob Lennon, our new middle school athletic director. We didn't have a coach's handbook in place for the middle school level. And with football coming on, we felt that we had enough of the same kind of sports happening that it was probably good to have some procedures in place. So Jacob and Julie and myself, along with Carrie Lawson's help, put together a middle school version of the coach's handbook that we feel is going to be helpful for us so that we can have some expectations for the coaches and for our sports.
A similar structure to the high school coaches handbook, but it was appropriate for middle school and participation
Right.
more than.
I think it's pretty much the same, only we took out some of the language that had to do with the WIA because our middle school is not affiliated with WIA.
All right. Thank you, Chris, for that explanation. Would someone move?
I'll move to approve the Cuba City Middle School Coaches Handbook as presented.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Collins.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Hinterman, yes. Bowden.
Yes.
Andrews.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Personnel, approve the hiring of Miss Ashley Surjak for the high school assistant softball coach.
This is recommended by Mr. Sander and Ms. Lawson, and Ashley is our new elementary school band teacher and a CCHS graduate.
And as a former coach, I will make the motion to approve the hiring of Miss Ashley Surjak as high school assistant softball coach. Is there a second?
Second.
Collins.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Hinterman, yes. Bowden.
Yes.
Andrews.
Yes.
Motion carried.
B is approval for the volunteer high school track and field coach, Caesar.
And actually, that's Sean. That's a typo.
Oh, okay.
My fault. Before we move on to B, just wanted to thank our former assistant softball coach who has been volunteering in that position for many years through many different times. Gary, thank you for all the work that you put on the softball program. Okay. Yeah, so this is a volunteer for, and actually I think it's middle school. It's not high school. No, hang on. It came from Carrie, so it is high school, sorry. But she told me it was spelled wrong, so we can still act on it.
Would someone move?
I'll move to approve the volunteer CCHS track and field coach, Sean Caesar, as presented.
Is there a second?
I'll second. Collins.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Hinterman, yes. Bowden.
Yes.
Andrews.
Yes.
Motion carried.
C is approve the retirement of the elementary paraprofessional Lee Bird.
Yep, Leah's been an outstanding paraprofessional for us for many years, and we certainly wish her well in her retirement.
Would someone move?
I'll move to approve the retirement of Mrs. Lee Bird with the district's best wishes as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
Collins. White.
Yes.
Hinterman, yes. Bowden.
Yes.
Andrews.
Yes.
Motion carried.
And we're down to committee reports, budget and finance, anything, Aaron?
Nope, probably sometime around May we'll meet with that that first draft. Last year, I believe we met right outside the baseball field.
Yeah,
First meeting.
I remember that. Building and grounds, anything?
No, we met on February 1st with some issues that we acted on at the last meeting, but we don't have anything else scheduled.
Okay. Personnel, looks like we'll meet in the next couple of months. Policy, I think you'd sent something out about an update on that.
Yep, we've got one scheduled, actually,
March
29th.
March 29th.
29th.
March 29th, yeah. We just got the Neola update. Actually, it was just front and back, 2 pages, so probably the shortest Neola update that
I
we've
was
had.
gonna say,
Usually they're a little longer than that.
technology, transportation, Dan, anything?
No, nothing new. We had our meeting, we resolved our busing issue in the last meeting, so nothing new to report.
And we'll get that contract out and signed soon, but we're moving forward, even without having the contract fully vetted by our attorneys yet. The transportation company at Davis Bus Lines has been very active with all of us trying to get everything up and ready.
Okay, good to hear. Foundation, you met last month, there's probably nothing else.
No, nothing new there.
CISA 3, basically, Mr. Nutter has gone crazy with trying to hire staff for school districts, and we're up over 20 cars now because he can offer a car if you want a job, which school districts can't do. So the car payments are the biggest expense. So other than that, I don't have anything. I would make a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.